Center of Troy University's broadcast and digital network and Troy campuses around the world. This is Troy TrojanVision Weekly. From the high definition.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Weekly. We're glad you joined us for this look at what's happening in and around Troy University. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Well, Thursday was a day of remembrance across the United States, a time for many Americans to honor those killed in the terrorist attack of September 11, 2001. Well, a group of Troy University students used a national symbol to set up a memorial on campus. Raven Adara has more.
It's impossible to miss the thousands of flags that outline the Troy University main quad. One organization went above and beyond to bring awareness to this day of remembrance.
So there's about 3,500 flags covering the expanse of the quad. We had about 100 people. It took us about 45 minutes to put them out last night.
We have a lot of international students at this school, so it really brings awareness to them as far as what 9/11 is and, what we stand for and how important our freedom is to us.
We decided it was something important that we can do. It was little, but we had the ways and the means to do it.
Millions of Americans were affected by the events on September 11th. Troy students share how this event personally touched their lives.
It's really cool to be able to give back in this way. Like, I know that 9/11 touched me, and I remember exactly where I was on that day.
You couldn't even place a phone call on a landline. You'd pick up, so I didn't know where my dad was until he got home from work at like 11 o'clock.
My grandma called my mom, told her to turn on the TV, and I remember seeing the building smoking, and my mom started crying.
It's a memory of our country and how much it means to us, and everyone who risked their life for it, and the loved ones that we've all lost.
As Americans, we can't forget, and it's definitely something that, people were lost in this situation, so you want to hold it close to your heart.
I think it's very respectful.
While September 11th is a day no one will forget, this display on campus is a reminder of the triumph and loss of America. Raven Adara, Troy TrojanVision News.
And while some students produced memorials, some others spent the day volunteering as a small part of a nationwide day of service. Deborah Bogart explains.
Across the nation, Americans are remembering and honoring those that lost their lives in the September 11th attacks. Some Troy students decided to show their patriotism by giving back to the community in a day of service.
Well, it gives them opportunities, one, to serve and give back. It's monumental in the sense that it is 9/11, and it's a good way to remember those persons that we lost.
It's always important, but this day does kind of signify something bigger than what this service is. It's quite a big day for the entire country, and just a good thing to represent in a positive manner.
As a part of the service activities, some students were able to go to the Boys and Girls Club and help revamp their facilities for the upcoming school year.
We are painting the Boys and Girls Club. We are so excited. I chose the colors, so I'm really excited about that. The students, they approved of the colors, so the members of our club did, and so they'll be so excited when they come back next week to see and get a feel of a new club.
And for the students, it wasn't just about service to the community. There was the added benefit of sharing time with their fellow students.
My favorite part is just seeing the students that I wouldn't typically meet on campus just come together for a common purpose and work for Boys and Girls Club.
This was one of 3 days of service for Troy students this week, but Tyler feels it's good for students to contribute anytime they have the chance.
Well, I feel that it's important that we do service just in general, just because sometimes we always have a few hours of free time, and so I've always felt that you might as well do it towards some helping and helping the community that's around us.
Deborah Bogart, Troy TrojanVision News.
This was the 4th year Troy University has participated in the 9/11 National Day of Service. And this week, Troy University's Student Counseling Center was raising awareness about suicide, especially among young people, and came up with a special way of making their point. Wanda Norris has the details.
That's a good shot right there. A patch of black flags adorns Troy University's North Quad this week. The flags, which are not normally a part of the scenery, are there for a special purpose.
It is for Suicide Prevention Week, so this is this whole week, and each of those flags represents the 1,000 college students that take their life each year. So we wanted a visual representation of that to kind of take away from it just being a statistic, to say, this is a real problem and raise awareness for it.
And raising awareness among college students is particularly important to Boswell because of how surprisingly prevalent suicide is among young people.
It is actually very important to college students because In ages 15 to 24, suicide is the second leading cause of death. And yes, a lot of people don't realize that, and I think that it's a problem that needs to be addressed. And we want a healthy campus here, and that is a great way to promote a healthy living.
The Student Counseling Center chose the North Quad for their display because they wanted it to be somewhere where it would be noticed by students.
We did want it in a high traffic area so that people would see it and be able to talk about it and ask questions about it.
And this display is a small part of a larger week-long effort to promote suicide awareness all over campus.
This whole week is National Suicide Prevention Week. So this whole week we will be promoting that, giving people statistics and raising awareness. Our main focus is just trying to let people know that there is hope, there is help, and that, everybody cares.
In addition to the flag display, the Counseling Center is encouraging everyone to wear yellow on Wednesday in show of support for World Suicide Prevention Day. Wanda Norris, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
In addition to the flag display, the Counseling Center set up a booth on the Bibb Graves Quad so they could talk one-on-one with students about the topic of suicide. Clay Yeager has the details.
Across the world, people are showing their support for Suicide Prevention Day, and people from the Student Counseling Center were on the quad to show their support.
This event today is actually World Suicide Prevention Day, so we are here on the quad raising awareness for suicide prevention, and it is also National Suicide Prevention Week.
Students on campus today are wearing yellow to support World Suicide Prevention Day, but one asks the question, why yellow?
I think that, when you're looking around on campus, yellow is a color that stands out, and we want this to stand out to get people talking about it because it is an important issue.
However, the Counseling Center was not only on the quad to inform people about others dealing with suicidal thoughts. Boswell says that suicide can affect the people around them, especially in a college setting.
Because I've noticed and I've realized that even if you haven't had a death by suicide in your family or one of your friends, every community is impacted by it. And also, suicide is the second leading cause of death in people ages 15 to 24. So it is especially important for people to know how to deal with that while they're in college.
Boswell also shared a couple of tips for students who can help their friends and loved ones dealing with thoughts of suicide.
If you're noticing that your friend or your peer is having trouble with that, you can call the Student Counseling Center, visit our website, or just notify your RA or someone that you trust that would maybe be more equipped to deal with it, and listen, show that you care, and take it seriously. There's also a National Suicide Prevention Hotline, and they're open 24/7, and they have trained counselors on call to talk to them if they need it.
Clay Yeager, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
And to wrap up World Suicide Prevention Day, Troy's housing office screened a movie for students starring the victim of a recent high-profile suicide, actor Robin Williams. Dustin Allen gives us a look.
Wednesday night, students gathered in Patterson Hall to discuss a very important topic that students may face every day. Popcorn and refreshments were served, and a movie was shown to inspire students to help others in need.
Residence Hall Association is hosting the screening of the Dead Poets Society. One of the peer counselors from our counseling center on campus is coming to give a short speech about depression and suicide.
People ages 15 to 24, the second leading cause of death is suicide. I spoke about suicide prevention, and I just gave the students some tools to help them or someone they know deal with suicide.
Students said this event helped give them an idea of what signs to look for in someone suffering from depression, and provided resources for students with these issues.
Moving, getting the word out about suicide awareness, make sure everyone knows what's going on, how to prevent it, and how to respond to it.
Pairing a movie like this that is such a good movie and it speaks to a lot of people with the discussion of mental illness kind of eases that stigma.
In the United States, 50% more people die by suicide than homicide every year. 1,000 of those people are college students who feel they have nowhere to turn to. However, Troy University offers professional resources for students in need. Even if you're not a counselor, you can still help by purchasing a t-shirt. All proceeds will benefit the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
We're selling long sleeve t-shirts for $18, sizes small to 3X, cash only. See an RA or RHA member for a t-shirt.
Dustin Allen, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
And this week, students had a chance to do a little thinking outside the classroom. The University Activities Council brought a game show to campus and gave students an opportunity to win real game show prizes. Jordan Nelson has the story.
The University Activities Council gave students the opportunity to gather up some friends for a fun-filled night of Think Fast.
Tonight we have Think Fast. It's like a game show. It's like a Family Feud millionaire kind of game, and everybody can come out. Their team can win $200 if they win.
You heard it right. Each team had a chance to win $200 in cash. And although everyone couldn't win, students said they still enjoyed having the opportunity.
I think it's a great opportunity because with being a college student, money it's on the tight bond, so that's awesome to be able to get $200.
It made me excited because I had a chance to win it, but I'm disappointed because I didn't win it. I liked it though. I liked that we had a chance to win and everyone had a chance to come out and do something like that. It was fun.
Win or lose, students said they had a great time and are looking forward to future events.
I love the energy that came from the crowd and the energy from a person that was telling us what to do. I had a great time tonight. It was awesome. I think it brings the student body together more, and I actually met more people coming to this.
Next we have movie night coming up next, but later in the semester we have casino night and we have game night, and all the events are pretty fun, so everybody needs to come out and enjoy them.
Something to do in the middle of the week, like when there's nothing else to do, so I think everyone will enjoy it.
Jordan Elston, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
We'll take a short break, but when we return, we'll take a look at what happened in Trojan sports. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
Now, more of the award-winning Troy Trojan Vision News.
And after starting off the game with lots of momentum on their side, the Troy football team fell to the Duke Blue Devils last Saturday in their home opener. Amy Austin gives us the highlights.
Coming out and scoring 2 touchdowns on their first 2 possessions, the Troy football team started the game with determination. But the Duke Blue Devils changed the momentum and defeated the Trojans 34-17.
I thought we competed pretty hard most of the total game and had a chance. Had we been perfect, had we been a little more talented, had we been a little more experienced, had we been whatever. We tried. I thought we had better effort across the board. And, you know, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, I just don't know when the tunnel's going to open up.
And while head coach Larry Blakeney said his team gave good effort, the penalties hurt Troy's possessions.
I think we had much better effort and continuity of 3-phase football, if that's the way to put it. We just had a few little penalties, and you know, we were doing pretty good penalty-wise, and then we got into had a little rash of them, and then we had a couple of turnovers, which hurt us.
While Brandon Silvers is still learning what to do in each game situation, Blakeney said the quarterback performed well throughout the game.
I thought Brandon played well. There was a couple of times I wished that he'd have done some things a little different, but just listening in to the critique on the headset. But if you're going to be a quarterback at this level, you're going to make some mistakes, and until you learn it, and even then you will have the opportunity to make mistakes.
And even though the team is ready to move to the next game, the competition is still tough in the week ahead.
We got Abilene Christian coming in here, and you know, everybody's going to say, well, that's an easy 1AA team. I saw them against Georgia State on TV, and they're not an easy 1AA team.
And the Trojans are looking to improve their record as they take on that Abilene Christian team this weekend at home. Amy Alston gives us a preview.
After starting the season 0-2, the Trojans are looking to gain their first victory. Saturday, Troy takes on Abilene Christian in hopes of gaining their first win at home.
You can't go to sleep at the switch against Abilene Christian, I tell you. I think they lost by 6 Saturday to Northern Arizona, and they lost by 3 in the Georgia Dome over here against Georgia State in the opener. A well-coached team lining up and getting after it, both sides of the ball in the kicking game. And so that means what Troy has to do, what we have to do, is match that and exceed that to have a chance to win the game.
Abilene Christian is a 1AA team coming into Veterans Memorial Stadium, but all the players know they can't overlook this group of guys.
You can never overlook a team. You know, we got to go in there with our head set, ready to go to put up 30 points on whoever it is.
We're not going to overlook anybody. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter SEC, 1AA. It doesn't matter. We're still going to go out there and execute the way we should.
After playing Troy's conference foe Georgia State, Abilene Christian put up a fight and only lost by 1 to the Panthers, the final score being 38-37.
I really haven't heard of Abilene Christian before, and they played Georgia pretty tough.
We're not going to overlook them because they almost beat Georgia State, and they're in our conference, so can't overlook nobody.
This will be the last home game for the Trojans for the next 2 weeks as they head to Georgia and then Louisiana Monroe. And the volleyball team completed the Trojan Invitational last Friday by claiming the tournament title. Khadijah Torbert was there and has all the details of the victory.
The Troy volleyball team swept Southern Miss 3-0 in the Trojans' Labor Day home opener. This is the second straight season for a Labor Day win for the Trojans. Although the Trojans are now 4-1 for the season, head coach Sonny Kirkpatrick says for this game, they could have done a little better.
I don't think we came out and played as well as we played last weekend. It's a great win. We had a great crowd. Our execution was very, very lacking, and I know we won 3-0, but we were not as good as we've been, and that's the disappointing thing. So we've got 2 days to fix our problems to get ready for Thursday night.
A key player for the Trojan win was Sunbelt Weekly winner Kaya Cheatham, who gave all credit to her teammates and the relationship that they have.
It feels really good. All thanks to our passers and our setters. We were all really pumped, had a lot of energy, and our passes were pretty good. And our sets, me and my set are really connecting today. In practice, we're just like a family, and we all come together after everything. And if we have a slow practice, we all come together and make sure it doesn't happen again, and we go fast next time. And we're really good. We work together.
Head coach Sonny Kirkpatrick says that he is grateful for the turnout for the game and the support during a holiday weekend.
Phenomenal. It was fairly close to last year at the conference tournament. Couldn't be more thankful for the folks spending their holiday to come out. The attorneys, the band, all the fans in the crowd. And just thank them so much. Thank Trojan Nation for coming out and supporting us.
Khadijah Torbert, Trojan Sports Now.
The volleyball team kept their win streak going by defeating Alabama State 3-0 on Tuesday night. The team is in Auburn this weekend for the Active Ankle Challenge. And the soccer team was on the road after winning a 3-game homestand, but continued the winning streak while playing Gardner-Webb. Troy defeated the Bulldogs 1-0 on Sunday. Junior Alyssa Jones scored the only point of the game to give the Trojans a victory. Head coach Jason Hamilton feels that his team is learning from each performance.
We had some good opportunities early in the game. And, I was one of those games we were pretty comfortable the whole game. It was more of when someone going to, step up and win the game for us. And, unfortunately, it came later in the game than we would have liked to. And, but, got to give the girls credit for fighting on the road. Always a tough environment. So, it was just one of those games that we kind of had to grind out and, built character for us. So.
The 4-game win streak and the 4-game shutout streak for the Trojans tie the longest in the program's history. And we're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, there's some offerings from our friends at Troy Public Radio. So don't touch that dial.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Now, more of the award-winning Troy Trojan Vision News.
Each week, we take some time to hear some of the work done by our broadcast partners at Troy Public Radio. This week, we'll get another sample of Talk of Troy, the student-produced newscast of Troy Public Radio. Now, let's take a listen.
Troy. Voices and sounds from the campuses of Troy University. I'm Katie Ganaway. Once a year, Troy University awards the Wallace D. Malone Faculty Award to a member of staff for scholarship, leadership, and service. And to introduce you to this year's recipient, here's producer David Cadell to sing her praises.
Diane Orlovsky, professor of music and music education and director of choirs at Troy, is the first School of Music professor to win the Malone Award.
I think that part of what we do as servant leaders is to continue to give. I'm still jazzed when I go into the classroom 29 years later.
The award comes with a $1,500 cash prize, a medallion, and Orlovsky will carry the ceremonial mace during this academic year's graduation ceremonies.
It's very heavy, and so I must condition or something because I have to basically represent the faculty.
Look for Professor Diane Orlovsky at any graduation ceremony this year. She'll be the one with the mace. For the Talk of Troy, I'm David Cadell.
Have you ever wondered what you'd look like as a Troy Trojan warrior? Last week, Troy University launched a new website where you can upload a headshot and don the Trojan helmet. There are 5 Troy-related backgrounds to choose from, and according to University Relations Coordinator Matt Clower, you can expect to see more soon.
Just over time, we might roll out more so that once you've already done one, maybe that'll be an incentive to go back and do another to update your look.
Clower says the most interesting Troy Trojan spirit photos he's seen in the website's gallery are not exactly human.
Dogs and cats from all over the place who are wearing the Trojan pride on their face.
You can embrace your inner Trojan and add your Trojan selfie to the gallery at TroyTrojanSpirit.com. You've been listening to The Talk of Troy. I'm Katie Ganaway. This show is a production of Troy Public Radio.
Throughout the week, Troy Public Radio can be heard on 89.9 in Troy and Montgomery, 88.7 in Dothan, and 91.7 in Phoenix City. And it's time for our last break, but when we return, we'll learn about ways students can get their literary work published here on campus. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
This could be a bicycle, or a bat. This could be a robot, or an airplane. This could be a playground. This could be a book bag. Or a soccer ball. This could be a book. This could be beautiful. This cannot be trash. This can all be recycled. Learn more at thiscouldbe.org.
This is Dr. Daniel Smith. He's an expert in domestic and international economics. But his proudest achievement is connecting with his students and helping them accomplish more than they ever thought possible. That's the warrior spirit, and it's alive and well at Troy University. Feel it at troy.edu/spirit.
Now, more of the award-winning Troy Trojan Vision News.
Troy University's Student Literary Journal is looking for submissions for this year's fall publication. Recently, I had the chance to find out how students can contribute their work. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. They'll be learning about the Rubicon and how students can take part in it. My guest today, Naomi Perez, the editor-in-chief of the Rubicon. Thanks for joining her today.
Thank you.
And now, first and foremost, for folks who don't know, what is the Rubicon? Because obviously a lot of people would associate it with a river.
Right.
But we're not talking about people throwing things into a river. What are they
No.
submitting to here?
Basically what the Rubicon is, it's a student-run journal that publishes student writing. So we're showcasing poems, short stories, plays, essays, research papers, anything like that, anything written by students.
By students. So it's an opportunity for students to get published and have their work put out there. So obviously that's got to be a benefit for students to be able to go and show off, say, hey, look, I've gotten my work published.
Right, exactly. We're giving students a medium to share their work with others, get some comments back on it, some feedback. We're helping, you know, students get published who maybe wouldn't get published at this level in their career right now, and just kind of give them that experience.
And with that respect, they don't have to be professional level writers in order to be part of this, right?
Right. No, this is for students, and we understand it's students writing, so there's room for work. But part of that is just kind of giving those students the chance to share regardless. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it can be just an opportunity for them.
Now let's talk about it. Right now you're accepting submissions for the Rubicon. Talk about that process from that point, because obviously everyone who submits isn't going to make it into the journal, right?
Yes, unfortunately we're limited in how many pieces we can publish, simply because the more pieces we publish, the more pages it takes, and it's a cost. And so the way it works is they submit to us, the Rubicon editorial staff looks at all the pieces, we take a vote, it's very democratic, and then the pieces that are chosen, they're notified. The pieces aren't chosen, they're also notified. And we usually try and get that all done within, I'd say, at least a month, 3 weeks tops. You'll know whether you're in or you're not.
And about how many pieces do you traditionally have in the Rubicon? And we'll compare submissions to the number that actually make it in there.
Usually we have between 30, 35, 40 pieces, and we pick 25. We try and keep it at that level, like I said, simply because of the cost, and also because we work very closely with the graphic design program, and so each piece has an illustration to go with it.
Okay, and now when someone is submitting, obviously, what's some tips that you have for them? Obviously, does it need to be, how polished does it need to be? How are you going to work with people when they submit stuff, or does it need to be something that's a finished work?
Right. Unfortunately, because of time constraints, we don't have time to workshop with the writers. So what I advise to students is to do, we're looking for more polished works. Not perfect, but polished. So before you submit, look over it, share it with somebody, go to an English professor. We have the Creative Writing Guild on campus that you can workshop your work with. Or better yet, join the Rubicon editorial staff, because if you're on staff, that doesn't mean you can't submit. Show it to other like-minded individuals who are used to reading critically before you submit.
And now the Rubicon this year, a little bit different for this fall.
Right.
You're going to have a little bit of a theme going on. Tell us about the theme this year.
Yes, we don't require it to be a specific content when you submit, but we're hoping to spotlight veteran writing. So any kind of writing by veterans, about wartime, that kind of thing. We're trying to kind of spotlight those people, work closely with the VA, with the veterans on campus, alumni as well, and hopefully publish by I believe November, around November.
So you want to you're trying to get the publishing date near Veterans Day.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Tying it all in together so you get a chance to get it out there for folks. So, and you said it doesn't necessarily have to be about veterans, but you know, if you've got the piece, that might bump you to the top of the list then, right?
Exactly, because that's something that we feel very passionate about.
Okay, now if anyone out there, once again, would like to submit something, how do they go about submitting?
They can submit to litjournal@troy.edu online, or they can, go to Smith Hall. Dr. Robertson, he is our sponsor. You can submit it there.
Okay. Well, good luck with this year's Rubicon, and maybe we'll get a chance to hear from you a little bit closer to the publishing date to find out about what you've got going on then.
Of course, I'd love to do that.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's what happened on the third week of August 2014. To find out what's happening throughout the week, you can tune in to Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30, Monday through Friday, or follow us on Twitter at Troy TV News, or like our Troy TrojanVision News fan page on Facebook to see links to online content from Troy TrojanVision News. We hope you join us again next week for another edition of Troy TrojanVision Weekly. Have a good week.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.